Hi, I'm Chloe. I work in tech. Chances are you do too, or you're just really curious on what the heck is even going on. So let me fill you in. This might be a bit triggering, so do skip to this timestamp right here if you're already caught up on the recent news. But if you're still here, buckle up. In the last year, we've had about 3,000 reports of hate crimes and violent acts against our Asian community. And if you're Asian, you know that our communities don't really speak up.
Number one, our elderly won't speak up and report these crimes, so we have to do it. Whether it's a language barrier issue or the fact that they don't want to cause trouble, they just won't do it. And you know this. This is actually something that is well known to these people, so they have been chosen as targets.
But in the last few weeks alone, we've had a surge in reports of repeated horrific crimes against our Asian elderly community that have shaken me to my core. 84-year-old Vijay Ratanapakdee was taking his usual stroll around the block in the SF Bay area, where a man from across the street ran up to him and assaulted him, eventually ending his life. 2 days later, a 91-year-old man was shoved to the ground along with 2 other Asians in Oakland's Chinatown. A few days later, a 61-year-old Filipino man got slashed in the subway. In Oregon, 9 Asian-owned businesses had their windows smashed. In New York, 2 elderly Asian women were punched in the face in the subway. In Flushing, an elderly woman got assaulted and got gashes in her head and had to get stitches. Beyond that, there were many robberies happening around Lunar New Year because it's common for people to have cash in their pockets for red envelopes for their families. Here are the stats. In the last year, we've had 3,000 anti-Asian crimes reported, and 7% of them involved victims who were elderly. There was a 1,900% increase in hate crimes against Asians ever since COVID-19 started. Worst part is, none of this makes headlines.
God, a countless of attacks on Asian elderly, and just, oh my, guys, but you know this is not worth reporting. Come on.
And if media doesn't report this, then there are people out there who will believe in their heart of hearts that Asian voices don't matter.
No one's gonna pay attention to you. Because you're dumb and you're a stupid blue Asian haired girl.
And it really pains me because it's our Asian elderly communities who step back so we can step forward. So to picture your grandma or grandpa trying to come home or go to the grocery store or exercise so they can stay healthy so they can live another day to take care of their grandkids. And then to see them get pummeled by a random jerk from across the street wearing a stupid hoodie who has this hate that they want to take out on someone they know can't fight back. That is so messed up. That's what's been happening. So what have we done? And there's been a lot. We've got some allies like Jacob Azevedo who believe that all minority groups should be standing by Asian Americans to come together. So he tweeted out that he's going to be escorting elderly Asians in Oakland to make sure they're safe. And now we actually have hundreds of volunteers who are escorting our elders in Oakland, part of the Compassion in Oakland organization. We had a lot of people speak up and take action as well. We have people in the beauty industry, entertainment, tech, politics, sports, the creator community, and our activist groups. I think what was super neat was seeing our Asian American leaders and our Black community leaders coming together to build coalitions. About a week ago, people from the Black community and the Asian community and other communities came together and held a rally of solidarity in Oakland. I think that's very powerful because the narrative should not be to pit minority groups against each other. We should be coming together to unite. And now many of my colleagues and my friends in tech have been asking Chloe, what can we do? And the answer to that is a lot. So what can we do to help? The first step is to create a safe space to talk about it. To listen, to heal, to share, to sit in the painfully awkward silence and to give grace to the people who are trying to gather enough courage to speak up or to ask a question. There will be shock. There will be a sense of feeling immobile. There will be a loss for words. But that's how it begins. Now the question is, what do we do next? And as a member of any community, there are 4 things you can do. Number 1, get educated. Number 2, volunteer and support. Number 3, amplify Asian voices. Number 4, speak up because silence is violence. Get educated. Learn about the past, our history, the model minority myth, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the Chinese workers on the Transcontinental Railroad, the 1982 murder of Vincent Chin, and so many more things that I'm missing. Then learn about what's going on now, like how Hollywood doesn't recognize our stories as American and labels us in the foreign film category, or that even though Asians make up the largest racial group in tech professionals, we are the least likely to be promoted into management and executive positions. You can also attend talks hosted by our politicians, media professionals, educators, and community leaders. There's even town halls and events happening today. Number 2, volunteer and support. There are so many community organizations, research orgs, media outlets, and nonprofits that you can donate to or volunteer with and learn from. Take the time to see how you can take action in your own community, because I guarantee there is something you can do. Number 3, amplify Asian voices. Support our Asian artists, activists, authors, creatives, speakers, and leaders. We've got TV shows, movies, documentaries, award honorees, books to read, poems to learn from, and stories to immerse yourself in. There's so much out there to support, to enjoy, and to learn from. Number 4, speak up. Use your voice and spread awareness to stop Asian hate. When you see a story, reshare, retweet, join panels, ask questions, call people out for saying something vaguely racist, educate, help people out in the public when you can, and don't subscribe to the bystander effect. And if it helps you take the first step, I compiled a lot of this information into a Google Doc that's linked down below in the description and on my LinkedIn, where you can find a ton of resources and like the series of events and what you can do. This could help you guide the conversation that you have with you and your teammates. And I hope that we can also take action and come together. Like work with your fellow ERGs and ally groups. Host cross-company events with other ERGs. Join Facebook groups and share stories so it's expanded beyond your own network. And I'm also just personally very curious on what you are doing in your own teams. So please let me know, I'd love to hear more ideas. But also remember to take a step back when things get a little bit too much. Be kind and forgiving to yourself, because you can't pour out of an empty cup. Everyone else will still be here when you're ready again. That's all for now. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.